most of what I do has to do either with international political economy and relationships among countries, topics that have to do with interaction between economics and politics. And then I also study quite intensively multinational firms, so how multinational firms then operate in different kinds of contexts. I actually had a couple of undergraduates also help me with that project, which is ongoing, which essentially looks at ways to capture the extent to which countries differ from one another along a number of dimensions. So how different is Chile from Argentina? How different is Chile from China? How different is China from India? But think about how many things in the world are driven by differences across countries, right? There are so many, ranging from who goes to war with whom, right, to how do you sell different kinds of products or services, like the same. Do you need to do anything about your marketing strategy or about your approach to the market in order to be successful with a product or a service in different markets, right? So this concept of cross-national distance is like tremendously relevant for all sorts of fields. The other thing that I'm working on related to this, and don't tell anybody, okay? I'm trying to calculate the size of the world. And so why do I want to find out what the size of the world is from the point of view of these distances? Well, I would like to know because I would like to determine whether the world is becoming smaller or bigger. It's as simple as that, right? You get the metaphor? So, in other words, based on actual data, actual information about how far away or how close each two pairs of countries is, from one another, then I'm trying to calculate the size of the world. And I have preliminary calculations, and what I can tell you is that most people would expect, as a result of globalization, the size of the world would shrink, right? Okay, that's kind of what most people would say would be likely to have happened over the last 30 years or so. But the evidence so far indicates that since 1960, the world shrunk up until the 1980s, and then it began to grow in size again. So in other words, countries became more similar between 1960 and the 1980s, and then they became farther apart from each other, more different between the 1980s and the last few years. Normally, most people would say, oh, the world has shrunk. In other words, as a result of globalization, it has become, which is the metaphor out there, right? A smaller place. All right, so that's what I'm trying to do.